मेथोडोलॉजिकल चॉइस जब हम करते हैं तो इट कैन बी मोनो मेथड, जिसमें हम क्वांटिटेटिव का कोई एक मेथड ले लें और क्वालिटेटिव का कोई एक मेथड ले लें. लेट्स सपोज सर्वे मेथड में ले रही हूँ फेज 1 में, और फेज 2 में मैं उसको केस स्टडी रिसर्च के तौर पे करना चाह रही हूँ. कुछ केसेस मैंने उठाए हैं बेस्ड ऑन अ प्री डिटरमिन्ड क्राइटेरिया एज आई डिस्कस, और मैं सिर्फ उन्हीं केसेस को पर्टिकुलरली इन डेप्थ स्टडी करना चाहती हूँ. या फिर वो मल्टीपल मेथड हो सकते हैं, राइट. सो ये दोनों मेथोडोलॉजिकल चॉइसेस जो हैं ये हम मिक्स मेथड के लिए यूज कर रहे हैं. एक ही मिक्स मेथड के अंदर आप मल्टीपल मेथड्स भी यूज कर सकते हैं और मोनो मेथड के साथ भी जा सकते हैं. अच्छा जी, इस पे अभी हम आते हैं अगेन ये फ्रेमवर्क को. जब आप दो डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव से देखते हैं ऑन मिक्स मेथड, तो मिक्स मेथड आपका दो मेथड, ठीक है, या आपकी मेथोडोलॉजी ओवरऑल मिला के, या आपका पैराडाइम पर्सपेक्टिव है, या यूज ऑफ मिक्स मेथड है इन अदर डिजाइन्स, राइट. अब मैंने आपसे कहा मिक्सिंग ऑफ डेटा या मिक्स मेथड्स कैन बी क्वांटिटेटिव एंड क्वालिटेटिव डेटा को मिक्स मेथड कहा जा सकता है. लेकिन मिक्स मेथड डिजाइन की जब हम बात करते हैं तो उसमें सिर्फ मेथोडोलॉजी नहीं रह जाती है, उसमें सिर्फ मिक्सिंग ऑफ डेटा नहीं रह जाता है, उसमें कॉम्बिनेशन आता है, राइट. वो कॉम्बिनेशन होता है, उसको कंबाइन करने के डिफरेंट प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं, उसका वेटेज, उसकी टाइम, उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी, ठीक है, उसका अभी हम आगे उसको पढ़ते हैं पॉइंट ऑफ इंटरफेस. वो सारी चीजें आपके डिजाइन में आती हैं. So two things which are very important. The first one is priority, and the other is, are you going to do it in a single study or in a multiple phase of a study? It's important to determine when you are actually designing a mixed method research, right? You are mixing two forms of data in two different ways, or maybe in a similar phase, but you're going to give priority to one or the other form of data. And this priority goes back to the rationale of my question, that what is my purpose? Is it exploration or is it explanation, right? Do this phenomena requires in-depth exploration, or it needs more generalization and it needs more explanation? Is it already a theory which is established, or am I going to add into a new theory or into a new lens, right? So priority and the phases of the study. These are the 4 points that we are going to discuss now. And so when you are thinking about the mixed method, think about the interaction between the two strands. And here by strands, we mean quantitative strand or qualitative strand, right? Do you think both of the strand can go independently, or they would need an interaction? The next one, priority. Is it an equal priority? Or am I going to give more weightage predominantly? You actually have to write this sentence in your methodology, that this mixed method is predominantly quantitative in nature because for this and this reason. You have to provide this rationale into it, which would tell me as a reader or as an evaluator or as an observer of that particular study, that how this study has been designed. So if you have given priority to one or the other, that already signals me timing. Somebody just talked about the sequential, the concurrent approach to it, right? Either both of the strands can go concurrently, right? Or sequentially in two different phases, or it can be embedded, as somebody just said, that it could be embedded as well. So the combination of both of them. And here we comes the thing that I was time and again saying, time of interface, right? Where or how to mix the strands. Are you going to mix the strands when you are making your research questions only? Or you are going to collect two different sets of data? Are you going to analyze them and interpret the results at one point, or no, you are going to first analyze one set of data, then follow up or build into another phase, right? So what would be the point of interface for you? And what is point of interface? Point of interface is a point where the two strands are mixed. Are we going to interpret, most of these research studies, when we design them through a mixed method design, the point of interface is basically interpretation of data. When we interpret and we draw the conclusion, when we make inferences about the particular data set that we have collected, either it's qualitative or quantitative. So here we go. These are the 4 points that we talked about. No sequence or concurrent. The next one is sequential, qualitative first and quantitative later, or sequential, quantitative first and qualitative later. So when we put the timings in, when we say there is no sequence, it means we are weighing the data. You see this point, relative priority, right? So we are giving the relative priority to both sets of data. The weighing is both equal to quantitative versus qualitative data, means none of them is predominantly influencing the other one. Mixing, it is basically integrated, right? Because I'm collecting the data at one point, at one time, concurrent at the same time, and the mixing is integrated into it, right? And it's explicit, right? The other one is implicit, because you remember when I said that when people say that I'm going to have an explanatory sequential mixed method design, and they already have a very sophisticated qualitative proposal. And I'm amazed that until and unless you have unpacked the quantitative part of it, you are not even in that sequence. How can you be so explicit about it? Even you cannot assume explicitly in your proposal when you are proposing or designing a sequential mixed method design. Either it is explanatory or exploratory. It is implicit because it depends on one or the other. And these words that you are seeing here, integration, connection, and embed, you should use these words into your methodology as well. When you are proposing, when you are writing your methodology section, these words should come there. And these 4 things should be explicitly written there. Before you go to discuss what research design are you using, you have to rationalize that why sequence is important. In some research studies, when you read it, they are not concurrent at all. They would need an approach where one set of results would come and give you preliminary results in order to draw the next phase. So when you put a table like this and you put 1 or 2 lines into rationalization of it, only then you would be justifying the design that you choose.